welcome to another video. I'm Alexa and let's just get right into this. So today we're going to be doing the full ranking of the Season 1 Disventure Camp cast with gameplay and likability rankings. I just want to note a few things before we begin. First off, we are not going to be including any of the hosts because the hosts don't play the game, and likability wise, they'd all just be down and lower in the tiers. I don't have much to say on them either, so we're just not going to do that today. The included characters will be all the characters again from Season 1, all the competing characters, so like Will, Ashley, Alec, Lil, Ellie, all those characters. And also do note, I have unpopular, quote-unquote, I think they're unpopular opinions, we'll see, so do be warned of that. And also do note, these are just my personal opinions. If you don't have the same, that is completely fine. Everyone has different opinions, and that's just how the world works. And also do note, there are spoilers completely for Season 1 of Disventure Camp, so you have been given your spoiler warning. And also do note, I will be talking about Disventure Camp All-Stars a bit in this video because, yeah. Anyways, let's just quickly get into this. So it's going to start with likability rankings, then we're going to go to gameplay rankings, and then the conclusion. It's a very simple format today. So, yeah.
Great! Finally someone responsible around here.
Everybody, so this is the Likability rankings. We're just gonna have fun with this. This is just based on how much I like them personally. And again, if you have a different opinion, that is fine. So we're just gonna get right into it. So, as we can see, our bottom of the barrel tier is episode 10 and 11. The episodes themselves aren't bottom barrel, but the character within them was bottom barrel. So, dislike, that's pretty obvious what I mean. Meh, you're okay. Okay. I like you such icons. They're cool, but not as cool as the superior icons, or the elite tier. So let's just get right into this. So we're gonna go from worst to best, and yep, starting with lovely Jake. Oh my gosh, Jake. Derailment, that's all I gotta say. So, episodes 10 and 11, as you can see, I think perfectly describes why I dislike Jake so much. Like, I bring this up every time I talk about the time I dislike Jake, but I can't get over it. He asked Tom to use the idol on him, knowing full well he voted him. What the heck? That is just, what, Jake? And you sell yourself as being innocent. That is just devious. No. And then episode 11, he was ranting to Ellie about how she wished she would just not be alive anymore, which, I mean, like, I know Ellie kind of did the same after, well, sort of, but really, Jake, really? And then he was just being annoying the entire episode. So, like, I was just waiting for him to get off of my screen or go back to his old self, because his old self was not nearly as annoying as this self. And in the finale, he was okay, but it's just like, what are these episodes? He is confirmed to be returning to Disventure Camp All-Stars, so I do have hopes for him. Hopes that he can redeem himself and actually learn something, because through episodes 1 through 9, he had a redemption arc, quote-unquote, of sorts, learning things. But then I got thrown in the bin in episode 10 and 11, which, I mean, it was only like a few weeks, so I don't even know at this point. Jake is just a character that I think needs his own video to really talk about all my thoughts. But anyways, coming up next on the tier list is Nick. I kind of feel bad for putting him in dislike, but at that same flip of a coin, I do dislike him. BTA Nick needs to make a return, guys. But he was sadly not confirmed to be Disventure Camp All-Stars. This video goes really good in depth. I'll just link it down in the description of why he could work in All-Stars, but he isn't. And now I kind of wish he was. But I still dislike him. If you want to check out my video on Nick, there's also that. Again, Nick is just a character that got kind of derailed, I guess. He's not his BTA self anymore, and that hurts because his BTA character was one of my favorites from the BTA, which is saying a lot because BTA-wise, I didn't really care for many of the characters. Now I do, obviously, but showing how big of an improvement the Season 1 reboot overall was. But that, again, that's a future video, and that we'll definitely be talking more about in the secret review, which will be linked if it's out yet. It should not be out until like 2.5 weeks after this video, so we'll see. Anyways, onto the Meh, You Are Okay, which goes number 12, which is Dan. Okay, Dan is so overrated. I'm gonna anger a lot of people when I say Dan is overrated, But Dan did nothing, guys. I'm sorry. He just existed. He was in 7 episodes. What did he do? Yeah, he made an alliance, but what else? You can say he's friends with Gabby, but I just do not like that arc in the slightest bit. It's just chaotic, and I guess I do like chaotic arcs, but that's just messy. What was that ending to the arc? Like, I don't get this. Oh my gosh. Again, he has basically no personality, no depth, and this is fine, but he makes it to episode 7 with no arc. Even the earlier boots had arcs. I know more about Drew than I know about Dan, and Drew got like 3 minutes of screen time, while Dan got a lot more. Maybe Dan somewhere in there is the most deep and cool character, but with Dan, I need to know more. I want to care for this character, but I know nothing to where I can't care for this character. Again, he's not returning in All-Stars, which did kind of shock me, not gonna lie, but again, so this is all we're gonna get from Dan, which, I mean, maybe he'll make a cameo in All-Stars. I would like to see every character kind of make a cameo. So that's gonna be interesting, but otherwise it's just like, Dan, what are you doing? Again, wish we knew more about him, but we don't, and so I can't really put him higher. Will is going in I Like You for the simple reason that Wishley exists. Either way, Will is basically DJ. Like, I have literally no other perfect word to describe him than just DJ. I kind of want to put him in okay, but Wishley is one of my favorite ships. If you see my channel before, you know I love Wishley. It gives me Gwent vibes. That's an entire other discussion on why I like Wishley so much, honestly. But again, Will got first boot. There's really not much to note. He's cool. He's DJ. He's Wishley. The thing is, with Will, his entire arc happened off screen because we see in a throwaway comment, Ashley's the best. She helped me conquer all my fears. So basically, he has an entire arc off screen, and all his development, which is kind of sad, but at that same flip of a coin, at least Wishley's canon. Come on, y'all. I can't ask for too much. I can't. So next up is another overrated character, Lil. Yeah, Lil's cool. I don't have much more to say on Lil. She was in like 5 episodes though, and she was really cool then. I liked her girl-scout personality. I liked her figuring out Fiori and being suspicious instead of just automatically believing her. Like another character that's already on this list. I really can't imagine who. No, but jokes aside, Lil again, but I'm sorry that I cannot love her as much as the fandom does. She feels so overrated. Yeah, she's, again, a cool character. I'm not denying that. But she's not the life-changing character it feels like the fandom celebrates her as. At least that's what I've seen. Maybe I'm going too far on that. But, again, Lil's cool. I don't really have much more to say. Next up on the list is Drew. It kind of hurts me to put Drew this low, not gonna lie with you guys, but... So in episodes 1 through 3, Drew was my favorite. He was amazing, but then he got booted, and I was kind of heartbroken. Because Drew might be considered overrated, I guess, because of how... But at this point, I adore him that much too, so I cannot even say he really is, I guess. I get it, he was in 3 episodes. The finale, though, he was so cool. Oh my gosh. Yas Queen, and then he was like... I think they're... It's just Drew is such a cool and adorable character. I want to see more of Drew, but he got second boot, and he got screwed over by Grett, which is kind of sad, you know. How did Grett even get his notebook? Anyway, I do want to see Drew make a return one day, but All-Stars, I don't think this is going to happen for Drew, sadly. But one day, he's just really cool of a character, and I get why so many people adore him, because I adore him too. I want to put him higher, but he got 3 episodes of screen time. I can't, 4 episodes of screen time, because finale, but I cannot justify him putting higher on this list, because again, so little screen time. Coming up next is Ashley. Oh my gosh, overrated in the dictionaries, where she pops up. I know I keep saying a lot of these characters feel overrated to me, but putting some of the most decently liked characters by the fandom down on this list might whatever. Ashley's really cool, and she is coming back for All-Stars, which, yeah! Will needs to make a cameo. Requirement. I like Wishley, and she is a character I think is the best out of like the 4 alliance. She's really cool to watch. She's really fun to watch. I do like her backstory. The fact they gave her a backstory, thank you, about the farm and all of that. So maybe she's coming back for the farm. That'd be interesting. Again, I really do like Ashley, and I am very excited to see her back in All-Stars, despite what might be thought. I am kind of shocked that she came over Rose Maria, but clearly there's a plan. I know this is turning into kind of a Disventure Camp All-Stars discussion, but at that same coin, Ashley's, again, really cool in season 1, and the way she just insulted Fiori in the finale, iconic. Okay, so again, a Wishley. So next up is Alec, which Alec is an interesting character, and I do really like his dynamics, but that same of coin feels kind of bland for some reason to me. Like, again, he has his backstory, and it's spread out throughout the episodes, and I do like the backstory. I think it's very interesting, but it is kind of sad how his character does end, because, like, we're seeing him in All-Stars, of course, so it isn't the end of his character, but the fact that he lost 2, like, children. I mean, he saw Fiori's daughter because he was like, I wish she were more like my son. So he clearly saw her a lot like an actual daughter. So he lost all that, and he really did not deserve it. Alec as a character, again, is cool. He gives off if Noah was a librarian and divorced. That, I cannot perfectly more describe his personality. He's funny at times. But the thing is, with the strategy, he's just kind of Fiori's puppet, if that makes any sense. I mean, yeah, Fiori did grow to care for Alec, as seen in episode 11, but at that same flip of a coin, it's like, all he did was follow Fiori game-wise. So, I don't know. Again, maybe I'm missing something with Alec. His design's really cool. Maybe I am. But he's a really cool character, though. Let me get that across. I do really like Alec. Anyway, on to the next one, which is our Miriam Miracle. Miriam is a character that, at the beginning, I have to put her this because the beginning, I was just like, why is she here? Just get her out of the game. Which I think is really impressive, Miriam's arc. As I've stated before, I think it's one of the most impressive developments I've ever seen, like a total drama or Disventure Camp type show, because Miriam as a character is so interesting to watch, and especially considering how strategic she is. And I also love that every skill known to man, she has, because of course she does. What did we think? Miriam Miracle, guys. Oh my gosh. Miriam from episodes 1 to 4, again, as I stated, like, why is she here? Episodes 5 and onward, it was really interesting. She was really interesting, and seeing her just become this really sweet and opening up, learning all that, it was sweet. Miriam as a winner, I think I also need to discuss this real quick, again, focus more on my season review, but Miriam as a winner is really good, although the one thing, this is just a critique, it's just me thinking maybe she had a bit more focus. I get it, you want your winner to be unpredictable. I get that, but a lot of the time she felt like a very support character. I wish she felt more like a main character than just a support character. So that's just me. Again, she works really well as a winner in canon, so I'm not gonna be stuck on this for too long. I really like Miriam as a character, and the fact that the fandom transformed, like after episode 5, a lot of people started liking her, and it just continued. So now she's one of the fan favorites when she started as one of the most disliked characters in the fandom, which I think honestly is very impressive to Miriam. So you go, Miriam. The reason I like you, she's almost made superior icons, but you know, just me not liking her as much as Grett or Fiori, and that spoils the other tier. So Grett comes next, and then of course we know who comes next. Grett as a character I used to absolutely despise. That, like, I wanted her out. I hated the way, again, she was the antagonist, so they were doing something right. But episode 7 onwards, that kind of changed, because she returned to the game. Returned in quotation marks, it was just a swap. Whatever. She went on to the Fiori and Alec duo, which, oh my gosh, that is the best thing for her character. And we get this little mini arc of her just standing up to her parents. It's giving Lake, and it's giving Grett and Lake need to interact in this Disventure Camp All-Stars. Okay, enough on that. Grett as a character this season was so fun to watch. And her one-liners, y'all, her one-liners are absolutely hilarious. I don't see many people point this out, but Grett is one of the funniest characters in Disventure Camp. no one gives her that credit, and she just is, guys. She just is. Her elimination was iconic, guys. We all know this. I kind of wish she made it further now, but oh well, so swell. I'm excited to see her back in All Stars. I know she can go decently far again. And I just need to see, and I think she's getting a redemption arc, which, like, go Grett on that. Yes, be redeemed. Also, I loved her in the finale where she's like, if all of, I was forced to pick. Like, she just did not want to be here. Respect, you know, respect Grett. Ultimately, she's really cool. Loved her development in the last 3 episodes. And her dynamic with Gabby, I did really like, but more on that later, because I like the rivalry itself. It was a rivalry and a friendship. I don't even know what to call it, because, whatever, we're not gonna figure out what that is. Anyways, Fiori, oh my gosh, Fiori! Our main antagonist. She slayed, y'all. She absolutely ate. She was iconic. Did she get lucky at times? Yeah, but I mean, every antagonist in Total Drama has plot armor, so I cannot fault her for it in the slightest. Fiori is just so fun to watch, and she is absolutely hilarious too. Also, she made an Avatar The Last Airbender reference. Also, the 20DI reference in episode 12 with her. Iconic and iconic. And I think the idea of Fiori's character is so interesting. Like a little demon child, because what else can you describe Fiori as? This little evil little child just being and acting like the sweet little one until you get to actually know her or get to know her true intentions. That is such a threatening level, and when a child is as intelligent as Fiori, all the campers are done. There's a reason why she literally manipulated all of them. Even when they knew she was evil, she could not be stabbed. You manipulate her even when she's evil. How? How can... It's just so impressive for Fiori gameplay-wise, and overall, she is, again, really fun to watch. Her dynamic with Alec was incredible until, well, episode 12. That's why she's not in Icons of the Heart, because, the way episode 12 handled Fiori's character, I get it, she's evil, she probably would have never cared, but she did care for Alec. And it really gave her a more dimension because she was actually caring for people. It gave her more of a dimension to her character instead of making her more gimmicky. And I still really like her, don't get me wrong. She's literally 4th on this tier list. But it's like, what could have been if they have plans for All-Stars. I'm not going to try. Also, guys, I just need to mention this. Fiori's All-Stars design is so cool. I love it. It's like if a 4th grader was angry at just life. Yes. Anyways, onto the Icons tier. Gabby! Oh my gosh. Fun fact about me, I used to absolutely despise Gabby. I was like, why? Just get her off of my screen, y'all. Off of my screen. But over the episodes, she just improved and improved with Ellie. Yes! Her dynamic with Ellie is just amazing. I will not be convinced otherwise. But anyway, she was so fun to watch. I do think her getting out in episode 8 is a curse, guys. You know, the 5th place curse in Total Drama has transferred into the episode 8 curse in Disventure. Yeah. So let's see how it gets out of episode 8 in Disventure Camp All-Stars. No, jokes aside, though, I do really like Gabby. She's so fun to watch as a character. Her development was really great to see. The fact that she just slayed by idling out Dan, like, I've saved my bestie. Which, I mean, it did get to her the next episode. But, I mean, she saved Ellie. I can't fault her at that. I can't. It's just so sweet, and she's such and I'm so excited to see her in All-Stars, though! Ellie is also in All-Stars. You know what this means, guys. Ellie Gabby interactions! Okay, enough celebrating, on to Tom. Tom is a character I never really would have expected to put here, but I wasn't so against it. Because in the BTA, he was my favorite, so he was the one I had the highest expectations for. For episode 1, I was like, okay, this is cool, Tom's getting this start. But it takes him a while to develop, and I do really like that, because Tom's arc is a lot more slow burn, I would say, than it is fast burn. It takes a time for him to develop as a character. I don't really care for the subplot, gotta be real with you guys. It was interesting at first. Maybe I had too high of expectations, but who knows at that point. it was okay. And then Tom's ending as a character, and Tom in the last few episodes is really what plummets him to this high on the tier list. And I know it was just a few episodes, but the main reason Grett is this high in superior icons and gets its superior icons is because of episodes 7, 8, and 9, and episode 13 too. So, because Tom is a character, he's the mature one in the Jake and Tom situation. I still hate that. I hate them. Not as characters, but you know what I mean. Well, I do hate Jake. That's another discussion. But anyways, Tom is just so funny to watch too. His personality is really enjoyable too. Like, just to see him interacting with the others. His friendship with Gabby, a lot of people have said it's a sibling dynamic. Agreed, y'all. They have such a sibling-like dynamic, and I just, yes. And they're both, I need to stop it. They're both coming back to All-Stars though. Tom's ending, I really do appreciate though as a character, because Jake made him lose his job. And he got no backlash. Again, I know it wasn't completely Jake's fault, but it kind of is also his fault. Who even knows at that point? But the fact that he got to work as a cop now and he isn't just left jobless and he still has a future ahead of him, I like that ending. And he carried the finale, guys. He was amazing in the finale. Oh my goodness. Miriam, helping out the Miriam miracle as much as he could. Respect. And he was so proud of Miriam when she managed to win too. They barely interacted too, which I am kind of like, why didn't they interact more? Now I wish they did. Character, which if you've seen my channel before, you already knew this was gonna happen. This was set in stone from the beginning. I literally have a 35-minute video on Ellie if you want to hear all my... I mean, that's more of a character analysis, but still, it does have my opinions on her. She's my favorite. She is an absolute icon. I adore Ellie. Oh my gosh. I love her strategic plays, and although some of the things she did were very messed up, I'm not about to go be defending everything in her episode 11 speech, what do you think? But overall, as a character, Ellie is just, yes, oh my goodness. And the ending to her character in season 1, if she only got to stay in season 1, I kind of would have been just really sad at her ending, but she's coming, I need to stop. They're coming back for All Stars, so I do have decently hopes for her, but we'll see how far she makes it. Ellie, again, is really cool, and I do love her interactions. We all know I already like her interactions with Gabby, Jake. Well, you mean, it was wholesome at the beginning. Alec is very interesting. Her interactions, Ellie is a very interactive person just by being that lonely girl archetype, which I do find very interesting. The fact that she's one of the most characters that you'll find interacting with the others, which, very interesting. Like, she interacted with Tom, Miriam, Jake. She had an established dynamic with pretty much every character, which I find, again, because she's the lonely, I wouldn't have expected it, and I think it's really cool to have that unexpectedness within a character like Ellie. Really cool, again, and again, she is Rhea done right. I just need to point this out. This is what, Ellie as a character makes me get the Rhea hype, and I know this is season 1 only, I can't really focus on season 2, but that just proves how much they improved as writers. That's another time, though. Anyways, this is my personal likability ranking. Let's get into the gameplay rankings.
Great! Finally someone responsible around here.
Welcome to the gameplay rankings, everybody! So, we have our tiers: Evil Child, Strategic with a question mark, mixed on your gameplay, Making Alliances, sometimes not only enough, if only you had more screen time when it came strategically, and Idiots. So, we have special tiers for everybody. Anyway, the gameplay-wise, we're gonna start off with Nick. Putting Nick below Jake might seem controversial, but again, he had a lot less screen time, so I do think that does deteriorate Nick, and also he's a lot less likable, quote-unquote, of a personality, so that also does deteriorate him less, because you kind of need more likable personality to have decent gameplay when it came to social anyway, because Fiori, although really strategic, she isn't the most likable, in quotes. Well, when she pretends to be likable, that's how she does get farther. So you can see the importance of likability there. And so Nick isn't the most likable person, so he's also not really that smart, which does affect him really bad because he votes out. He destroys a four-person alliance with one vote. It's genuinely impressive to a stupid degree, but it is genuinely impressive to me that he managed to destroy 4 people's teams with one vote. One vote that took like 1 second to write. He destroyed 4 people's, including himself, at $1 million. Truly a genius in the making. I don't know what y'all talking about, but anyways. So next up, on the ranking, we're gonna have Jake. No, not Kai. What's Kai doing there? He's not. Oh, whatever. Jake. Jake as a character, it was kind of hard for me to place because he's not that smart, but accidentally, he's a really good social player because he's very likable, in quotes, because he immediately got Tom and Miriam on his side, and he actually, during the finale, he had an easy ride to the finale. Easily. In episode, where was Tom? Episode 10, yeah, when there was Final 6, he had an easy ride to the finals, because first off, he had the majority of 3, and if, say, those 3 made finale, let's just say that, plus they have an idol, so say those 3 did make finale, somehow, Miriam and Tom like Jake more than they like each other, even though they do like each other, so Jake automatically gets a chance at $1 million for whatever he needs. Even though it's never clear what he does need, he has a chance to get it, but it is, oh my gosh. In episode 10, he ruins his chance at $1 million. He ruins it. He just ruins it with 1 vote. It is... And what makes it... I know I laugh at Nick's. I laugh at it. He destroyed 4 people's games. Jake destroyed 1 person's game. 3 people's games. Himself, Miriam's, and Tom's. Truly. It's impressive how badly he can also destroy it. And he destroyed his easy road at the finale in such an explosive manner. How do you do that? How do you destroy it so darn well? It's kind of impressive, but at that same time, you know, Jake, if only. So I have to put him in this tier because of that 1 move. And afterwards, it's not like he tried to pretend that Ellie would be back on his side. And the only thing he did ever kind of strategically is be like, maybe I'll forgive you if you... That is the worst excuse for strategy or manipulation I've ever seen. What the heck, Jake? So, he has to go in this tier. There is no other tier that can fit his gameplay. Next up is going to be Will, which I really did not know where to place Will because we barely got any strategic. He's likable, yeah. He got Ashley while they were at the hotel, so there's that. He made friends with Lil. He's, again, likable. He's nice to everybody. He's DJ. I know I keep saying that, but that's what he is. But he's strategic. He got first boot, so it's not like I expected him to have the biggest gameplay. So he was in on the 4-person alliance, which is good. At least he knows what an alliance is. Oh my gosh. Again, I think this tier perfectly sums it up, though. If he had some more screen time, I think I could put him higher, but otherwise I just have to put him this low. And next up might be controversial, but I'm gonna be going for Ashley. Look she's likable, she's cool, she takes care of people, she's nice, okay? She's likable. We got that out of the way. And she is in the 4-person alliance. But she isn't that really strategic or really that smart. I'm sorry, guys. And I get it, she had kind of a connection with Fiori because Fiori reminded her of her little sister. But at that same flip of a coin, she voted for Alec because she didn't want to vote Will, which you shouldn't want to vote. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Will or Fiori, but at that same flip of a coin, it's giving when Aiden voted Rhea, except with a lot less stakes. Actually, no, because Will actually got out. So, and I get that she didn't want to vote Fiori, but she didn't even question it. And I get not many people can figure out Fiori, I do get that. But, the way she voted that tribal, no. Look, at least she didn't vote Will. At least she didn't vote Will. We need to get that out of the way. At least she did not. In episode 3, they went immunity, so that's pointless to really go over, but she does not even think for a second Fiori could be evil, quote-unquote. Episode 4, I do respect the fact that she is smart enough to figure out that Lil is not lying and trusts Lil enough, giving her trust in the right person, quote-unquote. But yeah, it's just Ashley, I, again, did not really know where to place her because she's not the most strategically focused character. That's not her point. She's not meant to be a gameplay-focused character, so... Yeah, and next up is Drew. Originally, Drew was going to be behind Ashley, but I did put him ahead of Ashley because I feel like he had more willingness to play the game, quote-unquote, and could have done better if he did make it farther. Just my opinion. But Drew has one major disadvantage. The fact that if he gets his notebook taken away from him, his communication is immediately lost. Yeah, he can make signals, which Gabby can understand, but we never see anybody else understand. So I can't just assume, well, everybody knows how what Drew's signals mean. Gabby does. Yeah, I just said that. But who else does? We can't just assume. So that is his disadvantage. But Drew is a character, he's likable, that's good for him. He immediately agreed to the Guys Alliance. What I don't like is the fact that he was like, yep, I'll vote for Gabby when Gabby is your friend, Drew, which, let me just say, I gotta take a segment of this just to compliment Drew and Gabby's friendship. Drew literally supported wherever Gabby went because he's such close friends with Gabby now. That's so sweet! Oh my gosh! I'm sorry. I had to. Drew and Gabby's friendship is underrated. Okay, enough of that. Drew. So maybe you can flip-flop Drew or Ashley. I had a hard time knowing which to go above the other. Again, main reason I put Drew above is I think if he made it farther, he could have succeeded more, and especially since he could have been a secret antagonist. Although that really does not fit a personality in the slightest. It would have been cool because he could keep his mouth shut and he can know a lot of things. Like, he immediately figured out Tom. No one really talks about this, but he basically immediately figured out what Tom was up to. Yeah, he saw him walking at night, but still, Tom, be more sneaky as a spy, please. If Drew, who is canonically 15, managed to figure you out in like 2 episodes, whatever. But anyways, Drew is cool. And next up, sometimes I don't think it's enough. It's dedicated to the one and only Gabby. Look it, guys. Gabby is a really cool character, but gameplay-wise, she is just not. First off, she found the idol based off of luck. Yes, it is good karma that she found it while looking for dance classes, but also, at least she kept it a secret. For those who have not watched the BTA, from my memory, this is my memory, I've literally not watched the BTA in years, and I don't want to go back and watch it just to find out if this is the case. But anyways, basically, she tells everybody she found the idol, if I remember right, which, like, okay, Gabby, okay, that was not the smartest move, but at least now she has the intelligence to keep it a secret. Truly, Gabby, you've improved. And then she tells Ellie in episode 3, which, look, I find it sweet. That was dumb. It was sweet, yeah, maybe to get Ellie to trust her, and I know that wasn't her intentions. I know she just really liked Ellie as a friend at that point, but, like, don't tell anybody about your totem, because what could happen to you is what could happen to Tom. That's all I'm saying, guys. But anyway, Gabby, again, she's the main target a lot, and as likable as she is to us, she isn't really that likable to people. Well, actually, she's kind of hated, so she actually might not be too likable to us, or some people watching this. Of course, that could be the case, but, she isn't really the most liked in canon, so that also does deteriorate her gameplay a lot, because again, you need to be well liked, and she got saved multiple times by Grett. Yes, she has the totem that could save her, but she used it in episode 7 to save Ellie. But she could choose to vote off anybody from her team. Of course, that wasn't Ellie. Or herself. And she chooses Dan. Okay, guys, okay. That was stupid of you. Gabby. I get it. Dan was like, we need to vote for Ellie, Gabby. Dan has been begging for your forgiveness for the past few episodes. This is just... Does she not see the Miriam, Jake, and Tom trio? Is she just blind? You should have gotten one of them out. Don't get out Dan. Dan can be used on your side. I mean, yeah, he's in an alliance with Miriam, but I'm doubting Dan would be like, yep, I want to be at the bottom of a 4-person alliance. He doesn't want to be Aiden. He just... Oh my gosh, Gabby. I love the fact she saved Ellie. That was smart. That was very smart. But was not smart was the person they idled out. So I do have to take away points for that. In episode 8, again, that isn't her fault. The villain trio was just dumb. Why are you not targeting the trio? There's another trio. Deal with Gabby later. She's a later issue. Get out the trio. Oh my gosh, okay. Enough on that, but anyways, Gabby, I do really like. I want to put her higher, but her gameplay is just not good enough to be placed higher, in my opinion. Next up is Dan, which goes in the making alliances here. If I did not put Dan somewhat high on this tier list, I consider 8 somewhat high on this tier list, I think that would be that wrong of me, because his entire character, he might not have a personality, but if we were to say he did have one, it would be basically the fact that he's strategical. That's it. Because he makes an alliance with the guys. Good job, Dan. One of them betrays. Can't figure out who. He immediately thinks it's Jake, which, why don't you suspect Tom? Maybe Tom's acting is just that good. Maybe. Or maybe it's because Jake made an excuse, like, what if, well, whatever. That's not the time and place. Not the time to talk about that, but, Dan is just, I know I'm not really saying much, but he's not a character that I can really discuss much because how little, but gameplay, again, he tries to make amends with Gabby immediately, strategically too. He thinks only strategically, nothing else, and yet he gets out before characters that even that never thought strategic with like Jake. Oh my gosh, okay. But yeah, I just put Dan there because where else can I place Dan? Okay, next. Yes, those two get their own dedicated tiers. Wait, did I forget Lil? Oh no, Lil's a lot later in the list. My brain thought, okay. Okay, sorry y'all. So, next up is Ellie. Okay. Where is my girl? It's Ellie. Ellie, okay. Ellie, I'm so mixed because, yeah, she did a lot of decently smart moves, but she's also very stupid. So, I know I'm taking this as the biggest Ellie fan, but let me tell you the bad strategic moves real quick. So, why did you insult Jake? Look, I get it. He's annoying. He deserved most of it. Most. Let me highlight that. Most. But, why? You could have just gone up there and cut immunity, Ellie! So, yeah, not the smartest tool in the shed, but, I mean, and then in episode 5, although what she did was at least somewhat smart, by getting Lil and Ashley, and we don't know how much time she had really to decide, so I can't take too much off of her plate at that. She should have gotten one of Alec and Fiori out, and then one of Lil and Ashley out. My recommendation would be to vote with Fiori and Alec, and then just get Gabby to vote off one of the two, because again, no one ever noticed the Gabby Ellie thing. Literally no one! These people are blind to other dynamics. Oh, whatever. So, and then Ellie as a character, she's likable. She's likable, well, kind of likable. Depends on how you like her, you know what I mean? So, same flip of a coin, she has likable personality, she has a lot of friends, and her social bonds, her social game is great. Like, I know that's something to come out of a book, but her social bonds really carried her, because Gabby literally was so liked Ellie so much that she was willing to play her immunity totem on her. You see what I mean? And then Jake literally trusted her so much. So, I don't know. And again, that lie, she got very lucky because Jake's dumb. So, see, there's that. I'm just very mixed on Ellie's gameplay. I really did not know where to place her in this, so I just put her here because some of the moves she made are good, like making the alliance with Alec, sticking with them throughout. Somewhat. Because again, she had to flip in episode 10. She had to flip, guys. And before, I defended her in the Ellie character analysis for episode 10, sort of. So just go there if you want to hear all of that. But overall, Ellie is just so mixed that I just did not know where to place her. And that also implies to Grett. Because Grett, her gameplay is both good yet bad, because making yourself really just a bad person, like admitting the fact she's playing like Heather, kind of, to where she's like, yes, I am a bad person, guys, which makes you an automatic target. Don't admit it. Act good. Because when Grett acted like she's forgiven everybody and it's all bliss, she was fine. She was fine. She was unseen, unnoticed. And when she's working with Alec and Fiori, if Grett, Alec, and Fiori at their max brain power and are just thinking, everyone in this Disventure camp is just done. Like, seriously. It's just, sometimes, but making yourself such a public, rude person, don't do that. And yeah, she has her alliance with Gabby and Miriam. Well, she did. Whatever. But, like, Grett, all you had to say was thank you. That's it. Come on, swallow your pride and just say thank you, Gabby. That's all she wanted. That's it. You got immunity, you wouldn't. But I do think swapping was better for her good. So in a sense, her not saying thank you did assist her. But I'm just so mixed because some moves are good, but making herself a public. And also, how did you get Drew's notebook? How did you find his notebook? One day we'll know. One day. Probably never. Anyway, next on the list is Lil, which she fits in the making alliances tier, but she's higher than these two and she's higher than Dan, so she'll just go in the strategic tier. I don't have time to figure this out. Putting Lil this high might seem like, why is she here? Why is she this high? She was in 5 episodes. She, right off the bat, was focused on the game and knew, but this is all making friends and alliances. She got her priorities straight. Thank you, Lil. And she made a majority alliance, was easily able to figure out Fiori within only a few episodes. Y'all, you are overlooking Lil's strategic ability. She is great. She immediately made a majority alliance, which is not her fault in the slightest that it fell apart. It's only the fact that one of them is just doesn't know how to think. And then when it came to Fiori, she immediately was like, I know, because of her experience. She was also really good out in the wilderness because of her Girl Scout. So she knows how to handle the wilderness, knows how to make fire, all that. She's really intelligent, so that also assists. There's a reason that Lil was targeted, not Ashley, during the episode 5 tribal. There is a good reason, and I find it very intriguing, and I also really like Lil. Strategic gameplay. It's just very overlooked, and I hope this made you think differently about her. I could go a lot more in depth, but we still got 4 more characters to go, and this video is already very long, so we really don't have the time, but yeah. Next is Tom. Putting Tom above literally everybody else here may seem like, what the heck are you doing? He was literally target number 1 after the episode 3. However, he flipped the vote, which was dumb, but he had an alliance with Grett because Grett came to him and made an alliance, so that was good. The protection pact, which they forgot in merge. I love how it just disintegrated with no one ever saying it disintegrated. It's just implied that it disintegrated. I find that funny, so I really don't care about it. But on the second point, he did get manipulated, kind of. But I mean, Drew did basically figure it out. But he was able to make it seem like they never figured it out. Like, what I mean by that, they never figured out that he flipped until Grett exposed, which, at that simple point, you should not have somebody who can just destroy your entire game like that. You should not have somebody like that. Not strategic, but he's also like, he's not the most social, but he also has good social bonds, can make friends. He also found the totem. He's also really good physically. I know I never really comment on physically because I don't really care. I find social a lot more important than it is physically because there's only so much immunity run you can go on. There's only so long of one you can go. So I immediately think social. He's good at social. He's great at physically. He's smart enough to re-sabotage. He's more mature. Although if you did not tell Ellie about the totem, what could have happened, Tom? Never tell anybody. And what it's implied is in episode 10, he only told Ellie. What the heck? Why did he only tell Ellie about his totem? He's good strategically. Maybe I'm putting him way too high. But I do think his social bonds and physical does carry him to be this high on the list. And the thing with Lil is we don't get screen time from her to really put her higher, sadly. So next up, I'm putting Alec in this list. I know I said Alec is basically a Fiori follower, but where else am I meant to put Alec? He's really good strategically. He's really intelligent to where he immediately made the fire. He reads a lot of books. But the thing is, his social game isn't the best, which does deteriorate him a bit. Yeah, he makes friends with Fiori, and yeah, he makes friends with Ellie. He is very lucky that Fiori is secretly evil, or Ellie and him would have just been, oh dear. They would have been out before the count. But, he's, again, cool. Strategically, he knows how to manipulate if need be, which he is kind of lucky that Ellie was willing to trust him so much. Kind of lucky there. He's good at physical challenges. We're all strategic. Maybe I'm putting him a bit too high, but I do think that he needs to be somewhat high considering how far he made it and also how good he was at the game at times. There's that. And moving on to Miriam. putting Miriam this high on the list might seem like, why is she this high? Miriam was so strategic. Okay, so episodes 1 to episode 4, I'll vote for every who you darn please, as long as I'm not voted. So she isn't really that strategic, but at least she doesn't want to vote herself. In the original BTA, she just wanted to go to MasterChef. Get our BTA Miriam to MasterChef, okay? I signed up for MasterChef. She did not sign up for MasterChef. I'm gonna stop that. I find that so funny. Okay, enough on that. But after episode 5, she becomes a strategic machine. It's like once she's a good person. Okay, once she's a really good person. Okay, y'all. Now that I'm a good person, I gotta be strategic. Now, do I respect all the moves she makes? No. Considering episode 13, that scene where she faked. Okay, whatever. But that was genius. Like, I don't like it, but it was genius, and I cannot take that away from her. Episode 12, she made alliances and slayed. Episode 11, this granny has more up her sleeve. Yes, you do. Win it. Episode 10, she was strategic. Every episode after episode 4, episode 5, sorry. She was incredibly strategic. It might have shocked me, it did, but still, she was very strategic. Tons of moves. She got Grett out. It wasn't her fault. She didn't know. Grett was gonna say. Also, I love Grett is out. I mean, I forgot to mention this, but Miriam was so funny too. We already do. No one wants you here. Or something like that to Grett in episode 7. Slay Miriam. Anyways, her strategic game is really good. Her social bonds are great. Physically, she isn't the strongest, but as she said, you can't always beat them with this, but you can always beat them with this. Siri reference we gotta love. I'm a Survivor fan, so. Anyways, and our number 1 is the evil child herself, Fiori. What else can we talk about Fiori? What if I did not put Fiori at the top of this, I would be doing something very wrong. Fiori got literally half of these people out. Like, actually, let's go through and see who she get out. Miriam, she won, she didn't get out Miriam. Alec, yes. Tom, yes. Lil, yes. Ellie, no. Grett, yes. Dan, no. I don't think so, yeah. Gabby, yes. Will, yes. Ashley, I mean, not really. Gabby did, but sort of. Drew, no. Nick, yes. Well, no, that was more Alec. Okay, that was Alec. Jake, yes. She got out everybody but like 3 people. Oh my gosh, this child. This child is too powerful for this game, guys. She needs to be, but when she's with, okay, she's in All-Stars. If her and Yule team up, everyone's done. The second that Yule and Fiori team up, it's game over for everybody else. They are so done. But jokes aside, Fiori is just really smart strategically. She can use her, again, childlike nature to get sympathy and immediately manipulate others. She's just really good. I don't have much more to say on Fiori gameplay wise, because if you've seen season 1, you know what I mean, which I say she's smart, strategic, all that. So that is the end of gameplay rankings. Thank you.
Great! Finally someone responsible around here.
So yeah, those are my personal gameplay rankings and likability rankings for the Disventure Season 1 cast. What is yours? Would love to hear it down in the comments down below. I'll see you next time, hopefully. Bye!